Chapter 1. The Crystal Skulls, 1924 British Museum, London. A package arrives from Mexico, containing something that would divide the scientific community for a century. A human skull, carved from a single piece of pure quartz crystal, flawless, anatomically perfect, impossibly smooth. But this wasn't the first. By the early 20th century, crystal skulls had been appearing in museums and private collections across the world, each one more mysterious than the last. The most famous, the Mitchell-Hedges skull, discovered in 1927 at the Mayan ruins of Lebantoon, Belize. Life-sized, carved from a single 5-kilogram block of clear quartz, with a detachable jawbone that moves like a real human skull. Here's what makes engineers lose sleep. Quartz crystal has a hardness of 7 on the Mohs scale. To carve it, you need tools harder than the crystal itself. The ancient Maya had copper, bronze, and stone, none hard enough to work pure quartz. Modern gemologists who examined the Mitchell-Hedges skull found no microscopic scratching marks, no evidence of any carving tool ever touching the surface. It's as if the crystal was somehow molded or formed, not carved. The precision is inhuman. The skull's optical properties are so refined that light passing through specific points creates unusual refractive effects. Some observers report seeing images or colors appear inside the crystal when illuminated at certain angles. Hewlett-Packard Laboratories studied a crystal skull in 1970 and concluded it would require 300 years of continuous hand polishing to achieve the surface smoothness, and that's with modern diamond-tipped tools. But there's more. Crystal skulls have been found across different continents: Mexico, Brazil, Tibet, and even one allegedly from Atlantean origins. Some researchers claim there are 13 major skulls, though this remains unverified. The crystal structure itself defies logic. Quartz naturally forms in hexagonal crystals. Carving against the grain should cause catastrophic fracturing. Yet these skulls show no stress fractures, no grain violations. Some skulls reportedly exhibit piezoelectric properties, generating small electrical charges when compressed. Quartz is used in modern electronics for this exact property, but how would ancient civilizations know this? The British Museum now admits some crystal skulls are modern fakes, made with rotary tools. But several skulls, including the Mitchell-Hedges specimen, show no evidence of modern tool marks. Their origin remains officially classified as unknown. Electron microscope analysis of certain skulls reveals a manufacturing technique that doesn't match any known ancient or modern process. The surface finish operates at a near molecular level of smoothness. Legend says the skulls contain ancient knowledge that, when brought together, they'll reveal secrets of human origins. Mayan prophecies allegedly speak of 13 crystal skulls that, when united, will awaken humanity to its true past. Science dismisses this as fantasy. But science also can't explain how the skulls were made. Chapter 2. Puma Punku, Bolivia, the highlands near Lake Titicaca. At 12,000 feet above sea level lies Puma Punku. When archaeologists first surveyed this site in 1950, they assumed they'd found another Incan temple. They were wrong. The structures at Puma Punku predate the Inca by at least 1,000 years, possibly more. The stones here aren't just large. Some blocks weigh over 130 tons and contain precision drill holes, perfectly flat surfaces, and complex interlocking shapes that would challenge modern CNC machines. Here's what makes engineers lose sleep. The surfaces of these stones show machining marks, parallel grooves, and geometric patterns that suggest rotary cutting tools. But this was supposedly built around 600 AD. The precision is inhuman. Measurements reveal tolerances within 1/10 of a millimeter across surfaces spanning several meters. That's accuracy comparable to modern aerospace manufacturing. The nearest quarry for these massive andesite blocks is 10 miles away, across rough terrain and a lake. No wheels, no draft animals in pre-Columbian South America. Yet somehow 130-ton blocks made the journey. The astronomical alignments add another layer. The structures align with solstices, equinoxes, and specific star patterns with mathematical precision, suggesting advanced knowledge of celestial mechanics. Chemical analysis of the stone surfaces has revealed traces of unknown compounds. Some researchers claim evidence of high heat exposure inconsistent with primitive tools. Who built this? How? And perhaps most unsettling, what knowledge was lost? Chapter 3. ICA Flying Machine Carvings, Peru, the Ica Desert, early 1960s. When explorers uncovered a sealed cave, they expected pottery. Instead, they found thousands of carved stones depicting impossible scenes. Humans piloting aircraft, not mythical birds or symbolic representations. Detailed mechanical devices with wings, tail sections, cockpits, and control surfaces that match aerodynamic principles discovered in the 20th century. The carvings show cross-sections of these machines, internal structures, steering mechanisms, and what appear to be pilot positions with specific control configurations. One stone particularly disturbs researchers. It depicts a human figure in what looks remarkably like a pressurized flight suit, hands positioned on controls, with instruments that resemble altitude or navigation gauges. The collection includes thousands of stones. Some show progression, as if documenting the evolution of flying machine designs, from simple gliders to complex multi-person aircraft. Certain stones depict formation flying, multiple aircraft traveling in coordinated patterns, suggesting not just flight, but organized aerial navigation. The carving technique itself raises questions. The stones are andesite, one of the hardest rock types. Creating these detailed engravings would require tools harder than the stone itself. Yet the carvings show no tool marks consistent with any known ancient technique. Some stones depict aerial views of landscapes, perspective drawings that would require the artist to have seen these locations from above. Skeptics call them hoaxes, but radiocarbon dating of organic material found with the stones suggests they're genuine. Geological analysis of the weathering patterns confirms the carvings are ancient, not modern fabrications. Chapter 4. White Sands Footprints. Picture this: New Mexico, 1930. Dr. Mark Roberts and his archaeological team were conducting a routine survey of the White Sands region when they noticed something that would haunt them for the rest of their careers. Footprints. Human footprints, perfectly preserved in ancient sediment. But these weren't just any footprints. The sediment layer dated back to a time when humans weren't supposed to exist in North America, at least not according to every textbook ever written. The prints showed adults, children, walking in groups. Some footprints revealed details so precise that forensic experts could determine the approximate weight, gait pattern, and even potential injuries of the individuals who made them. Here's where it gets disturbing. Running parallel to these human tracks were prints belonging to extinct megafauna, giant ground sloths and mammoths. The tracks intersected, overlapped, suggesting not just coexistence, but interaction. Dr. Roberts documented over 60,000 individual footprints across the site. Modern dating techniques have confirmed these prints are between 21,000 and 23,000 years old, pushing back human presence in the Americas by more than 10,000 years. The site reveals something else extraordinary. Some footprints show people carrying heavy loads, others show running, and remarkably, some show what appears to be hunting behavior directed at the now extinct animals. Scientists remain divided. The evidence is undeniable, but it shatters accepted migration theories. Chapter 5. Lycurgus Cup, Rome, a forgotten tomb, 4th century AD. Among the burial goods, researchers found a glass cup. Beautiful, but unremarkable at first glance. Then someone held it to the light. The cup changed color, not from a coating or paint. The glass itself transformed from jade green to blood red, depending on the light source and viewing angle. This is dichroic glass. The color-changing effect comes from gold and silver nanoparticles suspended in the glass matrix. Particles measuring 50 to 100 nanometers, far too small to see with the naked eye. Nanotechnology. In the 4th century AD, modern scientists couldn't explain how Romans created this until the 1990s, when electron microscopes revealed the nanoparticle structure. Even today, reproducing the exact effect remains extremely difficult. The ratio of gold to silver particles is precisely calibrated. A difference of even a few atoms would change the color effect. The Romans somehow achieved this without any magnification tools. Chemical analysis shows the nanoparticles are uniformly distributed throughout the glass with a consistency that baffles materials scientists. The cup's glass composition itself is unusual, containing trace elements and compounds that don't match any known Roman glass-making formula. But here's the truly unsettling part. The Lycurgus Cup isn't unique. Similar dichroic glass fragments have been found at other Roman sites, suggesting this wasn't an accident, but a deliberate, reproducible technology. Modern applications of similar nanoparticle technology include fiber optic communications and medical diagnostics, technologies we developed in the late 20th century. The cup sits in the British Museum today. Beautiful, impossible, unexplained. Chapter 6, Microlithic Tools, Central India. The Bhimbetka Rock Shelters, 1961. A research team entered a cave system that had been sealed for millennia. What they found shouldn't be possible. Microlithic tools. Hundreds of them. But these weren't crude stone implements. Each tool measured between 1 to 3 centimeters. The edges were sharper than modern surgical scalpels. Under microscopic examination, researchers found serrations smaller than a human hair. The precision required to create these is staggering. Any modern attempt to replicate them using period-appropriate techniques results in failure. The stones shatter, the edges chip. Yet ancient humans created thousands of these flawlessly. Experimental archaeologists using modern diamond-tipped tools have tried to recreate them. Most admit they cannot match the precision achieved thousands of years ago. The tools show variation, suggesting specialized purposes. Some appear designed for microsurgery or incredibly delicate engraving work. Others have geometric patterns etched into surfaces barely visible to the naked eye. Analysis of the stone composition reveals the tools were made from materials sourced from locations over 200 miles away, suggesting trade networks or travel far more sophisticated than previously believed. The cave contained something else disturbing. The tools were organized by size and type, stored in what appears to be a systematic catalog arrangement, implying advanced organizational thinking. Residue analysis on some tools shows traces of plant materials unknown to modern botanists, extinct species, or something else entirely. How did they see to make these? How did they hold them without breaking? The questions multiply faster than answers. 6 discoveries, 6 impossibilities. Crystal skulls carved with technology that shouldn't exist. Stones cut with impossible precision. Carvings of machines from the sky. Footprints that rewrite human history. Glass containing nanotechnology from ancient Rome. Tools too perfect to recreate. They're real. They're documented. They're unexplained. What else is buried out there, waiting to challenge everything we think we know?